Yeah, this is just the second little snip from Thursday, the 1st of October 2009. And I just want to apologise to everyone there, because I was about to lose my temper and go on a bit of a rant there at the end of that last snip, so I had to cut it short. I don't like doing that, but I just would prefer not to rant on a bit too much. I know I do it a lot, but I'm trying to control myself. Just look, a couple of things I just want to say to you. We live in a republic, a little small fragile republic on the edge of Western Europe, and in order to bring this state about, great men and great women dedicated and gave their lives to it. And what's happening now is a small group of what could only be called criminals have driven it into an economic iceberg. They stood by and watched this happen while their mates, their property developer mates, got fat, and while the banks went on a complete loaning frenzy, while the leaders of the banks, the board members and the senior loans officers and all the major officers within the banks got massive bonuses. And the men who ran our country and were given the authority from us, the sovereignty from us, which we loan to them every 5 years, we give them this. We loan them this sovereignty. That's what democracy is about. That's what a republic is about. We loan them the sovereignty to look after our country, for us and for our children and for our grandchildren. We pay them well. They have jets, they jet around the world, they live in 5-star hotels, they're treated like emperors almost, and they pissed it all away. And now they expect us as the citizenry, the ordinary citizenry, to pick up the pieces. And they're still in power. They're the same men who did this. They are still running the show. And Brian Lenihan and the two Brians, Brian Cowan, expect us to believe that they're going to send in the guard of Sheikh Khana and have an investigation into the goings-on of Anglo-Irish Bank. And as a result of it, there's going to be court cases and there's going to be prosecutions and people are going to go to jail. They have to be joking. We have done all this many, many times before. And Brian Cowan is up to here in all of this. I'm going to put the little posting up and you'll see it now in a second, and it'll tell you who this man is. And that man there is Brian Cowan's best friend. His name is Fintan Drury. And he was appointed by Brian Cowan to head up RTE. He was the chairman, chief executive of RTE for several years. And then, I don't know what happened there, he dirtied his bib some way down there, or something happened in RTE, and they had to get rid of him. And then they moved him onto the board of Anglo-Irish Bank. And his best friend is none other than Sean Fitzpatrick. And we all know who Sean Fitzpatrick is. He's the ex-chairman of Anglo-Irish Bank, and the shenanigans that he got involved in and got up to in Anglo-Irish. So that is what's going on. Do you think for one moment that Sean Fitzpatrick is ever going to have a charge put against him? No. What might happen, as indeed has happened in the past, these things go through 3 stages, and this is the stages. This is the way I see it. Alright? This is what's happened in the past here, certainly in the last 20 years. They initiate a court case, and for technical legal reasons they can't proceed with the court case. Okay? Next thing they do is then they have a tribunal of inquiry, and that could take years and years and years. Meanwhile, the good and the mighty all make a fortune out of it. And the third thing is, if it looks like it's going somewhere, the tribunal, they set up a PATSY, and they either set him up, in which case he has no option but to go to prison, or they buy him off and he goes to prison. And that's what happened with Larry Goodman, if you can cast your mind back. That's exactly what happened with Larry Goodman, who was the biggest beef baron in this country. So I can assure you, nothing is going to happen with Anglo-Irish banks. Nothing is going to happen with the Allied Irish banks. Nothing is going to happen with Bank of Ireland, with none of these banking groups, with no property speculator and with no politician. No one is going to the pokey.